History has cast powerful figures upon the world stage, leaders whose achievements blaze a trail for progress, shaping the destiny of nations through vision and sacrifice. Yet, their fates have often been sealed by the weight of divisive rhetoric and external pressures. In contrast, General Michael Langley has emerged as a central figure in American military strategy across Africa. A trailblazer in the United States Marine Corps and the first Black four-star general, Langley's career has been defined by military excellence and strategic influence. His leadership of U.S. Africa Command, AFRICOM, beginning in August 2022, placed him at the helm of America's military operations on the continent, a position that has shaped policy decisions, security interventions, and geopolitical alliances. Langley's tenure at AFRICOM has coincided with shifting U.S. priorities in Africa. He has been deeply involved in counterterrorism operations, particularly in the Sahel region, warning that West Africa has become the epicenter of terrorism on the globe. His efforts to maintain American military partnerships with African nations have centered on intelligence sharing, military training programs, and diplomatic engagement, all against the backdrop of growing Russian and Chinese influence. Yet, his role has not been without controversy. On the 3rd of April, 2025, during a high-profile Senate hearing,
I can imagine a situation the ruling elite is receiving gratuities on the side in order to the benefit of the strongman leader and not to the populace of the country. Does that sort of corruption and bribery go on with regard to the Belt and Road?
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Tory and Burkina Faso, as they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime.
This bold, incendiary remark not only ignited fierce debate over U.S.-Africa relations, but also raised unsettling questions about the true intentions behind such criticism. To date, Langley has neither retracted nor publicly clarified his statement, leaving speculation about U.S. positioning in Burkina Faso and beyond. But Langley's provocative words are not an isolated incident in a troubled history. They echo a darker past, a past where inflammatory rhetoric and defamation voiced by influential American figures were closely followed by the tragic assassinations of prominent African leaders. Consider Patrice Lumumba, the luminous voice of Congolese independence, who was vilified by Western powers and assassinated on the 17th of January 1961. Then there is Thomas Sankara, the revolutionary of Burkina Faso, whose radical vision was met with relentless defamation, culminating in his assassination on the 15th of October 1987. And also Samora Machel, Mozambique's progressive founding president, whose bold anti-colonial stance was undermined by a climate of hostility, leading to his untimely death on the 19th of October, 1986. From Burkina Faso to Mali, Guinea, and beyond, U.S.-trained officers have repeatedly led coups, toppling governments that once stood firm against Western influence.
Just ballpark, in the last decade, how many Africans has the United States military trained and equipped? 50,000?
I'd say we're reaching around 50,000
okay.
At least.
And what percentage of the people we've trained end up participating in insurrections or coups against their own government? This is Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya. Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya. That's him with a bunch of U.S. service members outside of our embassy. And just months after this photo was taken in 2021, he led a coup in Guinea and threw out the leader. Does that concern you?
And finally, 2 weeks ago, on January 23rd, Burkina Faso's army leaders, led by a U.S.-trained commander, deposed the nation's president, suspended the constitution, and dissolved parliament.
Now, as we watch history unfold before our eyes, a burning question remains. Is General Langley merely expressing strategic opinion, or is he igniting a modern-day agenda, a spearhead aimed at the downfall of Captain Ibrahim Traoré? Will Burkina Faso's fate echo the tragic ends of Lumumba, Sankara, and Machel? The dark legacy of defamation and explosive rhetoric looms over Africa once again. Subscribe, share your thoughts, and join us as we unravel this unfolding chapter in international security and the future of African leadership.